Welcome to the Streamline Podcast with Mike Warner.
Thank you, Mike. Hello again. This is Erica Young from Work Hard, Playlist Hard. And I am so sad because this is going to be my last episode with you guys. We've got one last special guest coming up, and Mike's going to be dropping in on that episode to do the intro for you guys and kind of wrap up the whole series for you. But first, it is my pleasure to introduce our second to last guest of this Artist Tips 2021 series. I really hope you guys have found this helpful. We really put everything together just for you for the beginning of this year, hoping that it helps you guys prepare and plan ahead for the year to come. We really want the best for you here at Work Hard, Playlist Hard, and I know Mike could not care more about the independent artists, so we got your back. Today's industry guest is Nick Ditri from the DJ producer duo Disco Fries. If you're familiar with their music, you know that they've had a lot of hits in dance music and have enjoyed lots of streaming success. They also run their own label called Lift Off Recordings, so Nick definitely knows a thing or two about release strategy and maximizing the releases that you do have. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick from Disco Fries.
Hey, what's up, guys? Nick from the Disco Fries here. We are a multi-platinum dance pop duo from New York City, and we've worked on a ton of records, some of which have gone on to do top 40 things at Billboard, and our current single, Forever Love, with Bingo Players and Vic, is in the top 40 dance mix show chart on Billboard right now, so we're super psyched about that. We came here to just give you a quick piece of advice by way of our friends at Work Hard, Playlist Hard. Big shout out to Mike Warner. We love you, buddy. One of the best guys we know in the music industry. So our major piece of advice here would be try to consider ways to extend the life of one piece of content, whether that's video content or it's music or a song. You want to try to think about ways to expand on that one thing and make it into multiple pieces. So with a song, for instance, some things that we do are, number one, we do remix versions of a song, so it exposes it to different markets. Maybe it's a chill remix or a lo-fi mix to hit that market. Maybe it's obviously what we do regularly for labels, which is a dance mix for DJs or a house mix. Another thing you can consider doing is an acoustic version, a chill version of the song, and you could strip out the vocal and just have the music elements, and there's plenty of playlists and places that will support that. Massive YouTube channels that just play instrumental music. So maybe you have a super pop record, but you could turn it into a chill instrumental guitar version, and it could live on in a totally different space than the regular version. Another thing we do is we will take elements of a track, unique elements that we make for a song, and we'll bounce them out as individual samples. So, for instance, if we layered a certain number of snare drums to create a new unique snare, we'll bounce that snare out. Or same goes for hi-hats or percussion loops or guitar loops, piano loops, whatever it might be. All the elements of your song that you've created that are unique to it, you could bounce them all out and start creating sample packs from your own records that you then release as branded artist sample packs through Splice or even Beatport. Massive market for sample packs out there. So those are some of the ways that you can kind of stretch just one song into becoming multiple pieces of content. Same goes for interviews. If you do a long form radio interview or video interview, we use a site called headliner.app. And what Headliner automatically does is it generates captions for you. You could kind of do a slick template, and then you could put clips out of that interview. So if it's a half-hour interview, you might get maybe a dozen clips out of that interview that you could stretch over socials for a period of time. So always think about ways to extend the life of one piece of content and blow it into multiple pieces of content. And that's our tip for you. Our other tip is check us out at Spotify and Apple Music, The Disco Fries, and follow us. And we love you, Mike Warner. You're the best. Work hard, playlist hard.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Nick. Really great ideas about stretching out your content, some of which I hadn't even thought about. Doing lots of different versions, including an instrumental and acoustic version of your songs was brilliant. stretching out your interviews with Headliner, another genius life hack. So I know our listeners definitely took notes on this one. Make sure you check out Disco Fries on Spotify, and of course on social media, they are at The Disco Fries on Instagram and Twitter. Last but not least, we have our brand new Instagram at Work Hard Playlist Hard. And we've got video versions of all of these podcast interviews. We've got lots of exclusive content, quick little reel tips that are not on our podcast or our website HQ or anywhere else. So make sure you follow us, make sure you turn on those notifications because we really want to see you guys have the most successful year possible. All right, well, that does it for me. It has been an absolute honor being your guest host right here at Streamline with Mike Warner. Again, I'm Erica Young. I am the A&R and Director of Operations for Mike Warner here at Work Hard, Playlist Hard. Next episode, Mike will be back on the podcast to introduce our final guest. Her name is Ryden. She's a producer, DJ, vocalist, and songwriter who has worked with labels of all levels. Make sure you don't miss this one. It is a very impactful interview, and it is also the last episode of our series. I'm Erica Young, and thank you for tuning in to Streamline with Mike Warner.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Streamline podcast. For all things music, tips and tricks for artists at any level, go to workhardplaylisthard.com. Thanks for tuning in to Streamline. Make sure to follow and subscribe on your favorite podcast service.